In this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 main things that I did to drop my 5K time down from 27 minutes 30 seconds to 15 minutes and 20 seconds, and how I plan to run under 15 minutes. So I'm going to break this video down into 4 sections, and I hope each of these sections can be applicable to you as well. So stay tuned, because I'm going to cover everything you need to know about on how to improve your 5K time as well. Now, when I first started running, initially all I would do is put my running trainers on and start running. There would be no purpose to each run, there would be no structure to my weeks. Soon I learned you need to add purpose to each and every single run you do, and for me, I categorize my runs now into 3 different types. I do a long run, I do a speed session, and I do an easy run. I now understand that these 3 runs are so different to each other, and it's really important to do these runs each and every single week. So I now do all those 3 runs every single week, and I do them on the same days each week. For me, it works with my lifestyle, and it's helped me ensure that by doing a specific run on a specific day each and every week, I can build some consistency into my running. Didn't actually think you needed to do any long run training for a 5K. But actually, the energy systems you need to run a fast 5K, well, they actually use quite heavily in long distance running. When you do a long run, you are improving your aerobic capacity, which you need significantly in a 5K distance race. So adding that into my weekly structure saw great benefit to my 5K time. Not only did I add in a long run into my week, but I also added a speed session, and I also added easy runs into my week. And I made sure that each and every single week I was doing these 3 types of runs. They all have very different purposes, and they help out your 5K time massively in different ways. For me, I like to do my long runs traditionally on a Sunday. I always did my speed sessions on a Tuesday because that worked for me, and then I used to do a lot of easy runs dropped in and around those. Of course, that has built up over the years, and to start with, I didn't do as much easy running as I'm currently doing, but making sure that my long run and my speed sessions were locked in with my easy runs saw my 5K time drop massively. Now, the second big change that I did to my training, and if you've seen my channel, you would see me bang on about this more than you would believe, and that is running hills and hill training. It's something that I've added to my training specifically more over the last 2 or 3 years, but it has seen my time dropped more dramatically than probably any other change I've made. So hills can be done in 2 different ways, and I like to do them in 2 different ways as well. You've got the slow, long, rolling hills that can be done over kilometers or even 10, 20, 30 minutes, and these tend to be at a lower heart rate. Or you do the shorter, sharper hill sprints that are more uncomfortable, that will see your heart rate spike, but have a different purpose entirely. Both these sessions will improve your heart muscle and your lungs and improve your aerobic capacity. They will also strengthen those muscles like the glutes, the hamstrings, and the quads, which are really important in running. And it will also massively improve your form, purely because you have to use your arms when you're running uphill, and you have to lift your knees, which will improve your overall running efficiency and your economy. So don't neglect your hills, add them in, keep them as part of your training. Just give it a little try out, have some fun with it. Now, the third change I made was, of course, increasing my mileage. This is not the be all and end all, but it has certainly helped me. For me, what I would say is it's not specifically about the amount that I increased it by, it's more about the split of easier running and hard running. It's about the amount of easy running you do supplemented with the faster and the harder stuff. It's not about doing a really hard workout every time you run. I follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of my runs are done at a conversation or easy pace. 20% of my runs are done at a hard and tough pace. So when I first started, every run was put the shoes on, run fast, run hard. I would do 1, maybe 2 runs a week, and I tended to aim for my race pace every single time I ran. This is far from ideal. In fact, A lot of people I worked out were running a lot slower, but they were running a lot longer. And as soon as I started to add this in, I saw big improvements. A lot of people refer this to as zone 2, and there is quite a lot of science behind it. But in short, what we are doing is we're improving our efficiency, the delivery of oxygen around our body, which makes running at a higher intensity easier. It seems ludicrous to think running slower actually makes you faster, but believe you me, this is so very true. Try adding some easy running into your training and supplement it with the faster stuff, as opposed to the other way around, where you're running faster more in your weeks than you are running slower. Okay, so the fourth thing that I did to make my 5K time faster was doing specific speed training. Now, when I first started, me and my friend, we used to do 1 kilometer reps, and we used to thrash them as hard as we possibly could every single time we did them. And whilst there is some benefit to this, ultimately I was exhausting myself and running too hard for something that is completely irrelevant for the 5K distance. So I'm going to put on the screen some really handy 5K workouts that I do, and a lot of my friends do that I run with, and these really do benefit the 5K specific distance. Now, of course, my paces for each of these workouts have improved over the years, but the structure has pretty much stayed the same. If you do want to try these, perhaps try them at an easier or more comfortable pace when you first try them. There's no harm in adding either pace or duration onto these sessions if you want to progress them further. Ultimately, these 4 things that I have done to improve my 5K time are underpinned by one thing, and that is consistency. Consistency is easily the most important thing when it comes to improvement. Compounding fitness over a period of time will see your times drop dramatically. Staying consistent isn't something that is quantifiable or I'm able to tell you how to do it, but there are a number of things you can do. Of course, joining a running club helps massively. Making sure you warm up and stretch each and every time, making sure you do your strength work, making sure you have a goal in mind, or signing up for a race are just a few of many things you can do. If you've got any more, please do leave them in the comments below, or leave me a comment about how your training is going. I love hearing about how my subscribers' training is going. I really appreciate all the support at the minute on the channel. It's been really cool. We've just hit over 1,000 subscribers. That was a really nice landmark to hit. So yeah, thank you ever so much for all the support, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Right on time for the parties and Barbies. Strolling with a chunk of green like a golf swing. Hey.